How I made my skirt for my Sable cosplay. To start, I used this high-waisted flared skirt as a base. Using a piece of chalk, I sketch a rough guide to know where to trim. I'm not too worried about hemming, as I don't really think Sable is the type to hem her work anyway. Using Sable's game model, I sketch on where the purple triangles would be, and I sketch a rough choppy hem. Once I like the sketch, I cut along the choppy design. It's always the scariest part, because if you mess up, you can't go back. Luckily, you don't have to be too careful, because Sable is quite a mess. I cut out the triangles carefully, as I plan to use them as a pattern for my purple fabric. I lay the triangles on the purple fabric and cut it out with a bit of a seam allowance, and then pin everything in place on the skirt. I use the cutout piece to match up the sizing and make sure everything is aligned. Then it's just a matter of sewing a bunch of mostly straight lines. I went from triangle to triangle, completing each one completely before moving on to the next, so that I didn't get too overwhelmed or mix up the pieces. I also tie knots at the ends of my threads just to make sure none of my seams come apart, because nothing is worse than working super hard on something and then having it just fall apart on you. If there's any chalk lines left, the damp cloth can take care of them, and that's it. It's a pretty simple and straightforward build.